Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your Mercury conjunct with someone's North Node in Synastry or vice versa. This one I have seen more than any other aspect show up in a relationship that is a mentor-student relationship where the Mercury person is someone that the North Node person classifies as someone who can mentor them or coach them or help them in some form of learning in some way. So this can be a really good overlay. This can definitely be a soulmate overlay. There can be really good communication because interestingly enough, like out of any of the planets conjunct to the North Node, Mercury conjunct to the North Node in Synastry, it's like the North Node person is the most open to learning about their North Node from the Mercury person, more than any other position being conjunct to the, well, Jupiter conjunct the North Node is also pretty open. Venus can be too, but then things can get more sticky with the amount of love there. But with the Mercury conjunct the North Node in Synastry, it's not like a love soulmate bond. It definitely could be, but like it doesn't get so like, that energy of where getting really attached or getting really emotional or really like, crazy feeling of fatedness. Like this can be fated for sure. This can be an energy of fate and destiny, but it's like the North Node person responds really well to what the Mercury person has to offer. The North Node person sees the Mercury person as someone who can offer them a lot of wisdom, and maybe they're not ready for all of the wisdom that the Mercury person has to offer, but usually there is a sense that like this person can help them along the way. And the Mercury person can feel like the North Node person is actually someone that can really help them as well, like to help them actually articulate what is going on inside their head. Depending on where the North Node person is at with their North Node, it may be more of like the opposition between Mercury and the South Node, right, which are the exact same thing. Mercury opposite the South Node and Mercury conjunct the North Node are the same thing. So those are both happening, but it depends on where the North Node person is at with their North Node, whether the Mercury person feels like, oh, the North Node person is a soulmate or is a like-minded person, or they're someone that they have this more kind of attention with, like, oh, I'm not really where they're at, right? If they're more in their South Node, it can be a little bit more a feeling of like we're not on the same page, depending on where the North Node person is at. But I don't really believe we have to abandon our South Node to go towards our North Node. It's not like that at all. But with this connection, it's like you have to see what the level of like soul involvement is in the node person, right? Like, do they resist their North Node at all costs, or are they kind of getting some of the lessons? And even if they're actually with even if they're actually resisting their North Node, it's like the Mercury person has this easy, natural way of getting them to wake up and getting them to learn something. So it's common. I've seen it in relationships with mentors where the node person just constantly like cannot get enough of the Mercury person's teachings, whatever it is, if they're a teacher in some way. And yeah, they can have a really good communication with this one, but the communication is more about learning lessons. It's deeper, right? It's not like a Mercury aspect where we have great communication, Mercury trine Mercury or Mercury conjunct Mercury. We're like blah 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 blah, and we can talk all day long about more superficial things. This is like we can talk all day long, but we are growing, we are learning. This is deep. This is faded, right? This is like a big part of our soul's journey. So this is definitely a soulmate aspect. It also could be said, Mercury conjunct the South Node or Mercury conjunct the North Node in Synastry. This could be like a sibling type of energy or type of relationship. Specifically, Mercury conjunct the South Node, they say that could have been siblings in a past life. That energy is still kind of here with this one. But you never know. You'd have to really just be in meditation and ask yourself, okay, what was this relationship in a past life? But it's definitely something significant. It's definitely something deep. And it does seem to create a pretty easy flow for the North Node person to grow and learn. And they just, like I said, they just eat up everything the Mercury person is saying. And it's like beautiful mind expansion, really good aspect for soul growth. So yeah, I'm a fan. It's a good one to have. I'd love to know your experiences of this aspect. Did it feel like this? And you'd have to look at everything else going on too. This is a more lighter form of soul growth, but you could have other things going on that would be more difficult to add to this. So you'd have to look at everything. But yeah, overall, that's how I've seen this one play out. And even like in a soulmate relationship, in a romantic relationship, there's still that element of like Mercury is like a teacher. And the node person really learns a lot. And the Mercury person feels like they can talk to the node person and be helpful. Like, that feeling when you talk and nothing gets heard by the other person. The Mercury person does not feel like that at all with the node person. They feel like really listened to by the node person. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. I'm doing your requests. Let me know if you have a request for me to do. I'm trying to do them all. And I do offer one-on-one sessions. My links are below. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye, you guys.